tere taas, mina olen Märt Niidassoo, oleme Pärnus Barbara terrassi peal ja nagu näha, on taaskord minu kõrval üks välismaine DJ, sündinud Ukrainas, ringiga käinud läbi päris palju Ida-Euroopast ja nüüd statsionaarselt, kui kuskil on vaja magama minna, elab Londonis, aga samal ajal tuuritab ringi. Minu kõrval on ei keegi muu kui Jenny C. Hey Jenny.
Hello.
So how was the trip here?
It was really nice. First time in Estonia, so.
Yeah, so what are the first things that pop up being here?
What do you mean?
Like, is there anything special that you've noticed about the culture, the place that you're in?
I've noticed that people don't really dance.
Don't really dance?
Yeah, not too much.
Okay, so much more introverted, yes?
A little bit, yeah, I would say.
How's the scene in the areas that you're usually seen playing?
I mean, in London, it's also a little bit, it hasn't been great as of late because I don't know if it's because of the phones or why, but people are just not as, don't dance as much. But places like South America, Italy, Spain is definitely a lot more lively.
Okay. You've traveled the whole world by now, basically.
Pretty much.
If you would like to say, which is the best venue or best country that you played in, and which is the country that you would not rather go back to?
Everywhere in South America would be the best for me. I absolutely love playing there. Country I wouldn't want to go back to. I can't say I've played anywhere that I wouldn't want to go back to, but I probably don't love playing in UK as much as other places.
Why not?
Because of the crowd is just, sometimes you get a really good crowd. One of the parties that I used to be a resident for, Noah Underground, always had the best crowd. But a lot of times I just think people are on their phones too much or they talk too much. Mm-hmm. And obviously that's not ideal when you're playing and you're trying to make people dance rather than talk or film you. But yeah.
Don't you have like, we have certain clubs that have signs up that no speaking on the dance floor? Doesn't like London as a cultural beacon of electronic music, don't they have like these kind of signs or this kind of respect?
No, they don't. Places like, so for example, Fabric, mm-hmm. I've played there before and that's one of the first clubs I ever went to when I turned 18. They actually have a no phone policy, but they put a stick over your phone so you can't really film mm-hmm. it. So playing in Fabric is always amazing because like people are actually there to dance and enjoy themselves. But yeah, generally, no.
Your main style is tech house.
Yeah.
Some people might call it, a lot of people call it tech house as one of the most boring genres of the house genre or techno genre. What gravitates you towards tech house? Why not techno? Why not psytrance?
I love tech house. I really like, I actually started out listening to drum and bass. Mm-hmm. That was the first electronic music that I liked.
What type of drum and bass?
Both liquid and jump up.
And from like the 2000s, 1990s? Like from which era, I mean? Like
2010s, I guess.
Something like more like Conquered Dawn and stuff like that.
That's like Chasing Status and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Netsky I used to love, but I used to go to a lot of like hospitality events as well as RAM, so all kinds of drum and bass. And then I did go through a phase of listening to EDM. And then slowly I found myself in tech house. I personally love percussion, I love groove, I love, my productions, and when I play I like a lot of like congas and bongos. I like my Latin tech house as well. But I started off with like very stripped back, minimal, deep tech. And then, to be honest, it's always changing. I feel like as an artist and as a DJ, it's okay to always keep, and you should always keep evolving and always, you don't have to put yourself in a box. You can always change your sound.
Nowadays, DJing, as other performances are centered a lot around your image mm-hmm. rather than your talent, let's say. How do you feel? Like, you're a good-looking woman, if I may say so. is it playing in your favor, or have you ever noticed getting any favors because you are a pretty looking girl instead of like a funny looking guy?
You know what, it's a it's a double-edged sword really, because maybe some bookings have come easier. However, also I have found I personally really wanted to be taken seriously. And in that sense, there is a lot of people that will assume, oh, she doesn't make her own music, or she doesn't know how to do this. And I feel like I had to work really hard to be taken seriously. You know, I'm like posting, I actually teach people production. I try to post clips of like me producing. I do find you have to kind of prove yourself, whereas men don't have to prove themselves. Like, for example, if a guy says to someone, I'm a producer, I'm a DJ, no one's going to question him. But as a girl, sometimes, rarely, nowadays, but before, people go, okay, I'm sure you are. You know, like you actually, and until like they would see me on the decks or see me producing, only then they're like, oh, okay, you actually are doing what you say you're doing. Whereas a guy never has to actually prove it. It's just assumed that he is.
But don't you feel like you're getting the chance to prove yourself already by being attractive, instead of like there's 10 guys trying to get a gig at one club and they won't take like a couple of interesting guys instead of having good looking girls that will bring in some crowd? So,
well, when you really think about it, look at lineups, like realistically, still to this day, you know, you have a festival lineup or you have 10 DJs, only one might be a girl. It's not exactly like men do dominate this industry. I think women are like less than 10%, especially in tech house. So I wouldn't actually say that. I don't know, I've personally, yeah, maybe in the past there's been sometimes events and festivals have quotas they have to fill, and they do have to have some female DJs, but I sometimes do ask, like, I hope I didn't get this just because I'm a girl, like, and it's because, and I still have to, like, at the end of the day, like, I still have to constantly release music in order to get gigs. I have to work super hard to get where I am. So I don't know, to be honest. I feel like there isn't still to this day that many female DJs in tech house and producers. I wouldn't say that it's massively favoured for women.
well, you told me about it being like a male dominated area. There's different problems in the nightlife, especially for women. Like there's a lot of dangers. You being a DJ traveling across the world, do you feel safe, or have you ever not felt safe, or have you had any incidents where maybe the organizers or anything from the production is trying to take maybe advantage of you, or maybe let's say, put it bluntly, get into your pants? I feel like I'm pretty blunt with people. So if I ever felt that someone was doing that, I would be very straight up, and I'm very comfortable, you know, saying to people how I feel and if I'm uncomfortable. But it doesn't happen a lot. I genuinely feel quite safe. You know, I've spent like nearly 3 months by myself in South America. I travel around Europe by myself. It's usually not an issue. People are usually really nice. I get looked after. So I have no issues. But also I'm very, what's the word, hard-headed. So I have no problem, you know, telling someone to fuck off, basically, if I have to. What's love like for a traveling DJ? Like, do you have like a special someone back home, or do you just have fun on the road, or what's the situation?
No, I don't have anyone. I feel like it is quite tough when it comes to like relationships. If you're traveling a lot, it's quite hard to, if you're single, if you meet someone, it's going to be difficult for them to understand. It's difficult to build a relationship when you're never in one place for too long. So yeah, but I don't really feel like, you know, I'm very focused on my career and what I'm doing. I love what I do, and I don't feel like I'm missing anything. And I guess I haven't met anyone that, you know, I'm sure if I met someone that was right for me, we can work through whatever issues there are. But at the moment, I'm happy focusing on myself.
So no having fun on the road?
I do.
Like picking up a groupie from the front row, like you're having the greatest set, yeah, and I have a hotel room.
No.
No, never. Okay, that's
Well, I don't
cool.
know if never. It's happened, but
But it's not a regular occurrence.
no, definitely not.
Have you ever thought about like how long do you want to keep doing this performance stuff, this music thing? Like sometimes people do it like 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and then they just decide like I've had enough. It's enough, and start a family or something. Like if you think about your future, how far do you see yourself going? Like
Oh, I don't. I love what I do, and I love the life that I'm living. So I absolutely. I feel like I'm very blessed to be living the life I'm living. Obviously, I have some friends that have kids that are married. For majority of my friends don't, and most of my friends are actually also in music. I don't know, but I don't feel like anytime soon I'm gonna be, you know. I just see myself DJing and traveling and making music for as long as possible. So
no family in the foreseeable future.
no,
no.
I don't
actual
think
pets.
so. I mean, you never know, but as it stands, it's not in my plans. Definitely not for the next, at least the next 5 years. I definitely know, but I don't know if ever. We will see. It's not like for me, like having kids isn't. It's something maybe if I meet someone that's right for me that makes me want those things, maybe I will want. But it's not like I must do it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It's not, you know, some people really want to do it. I'm easy.
Easy. Yes. Where is the most like perfect outcome of your career that you can think of? Like, is there a festival that's in your absolute bucket list? Is there a artist that you want to collaborate? Is there like a like a secret little goal? Of course, your goal is to become famous and be a serious DJ and producer, so on. But is there like a secret main goal that you have in your heart that you want to do?
I mean, eventually, I would love to, you know, have my own residency in Ibiza, like, you know, something.
Which club?
I would love to do it high. High is
Okay.
my favorite club. I would love to do like
No
every
Pasha,
week.
no Pasha.
I like Pasha too, but High is my favourite.
Okay.
I wouldn't say no to a residency in Pasha. I would love to play in Space Miami. I've always said that one of my biggest goals is to do like a all night long sunset to sunrise, 10-hour set, just me. That would be amazing. Yeah, that's probably the big goal. And then to be honest, I like producing different music. So I wouldn't mind even going into different genres of music. Yeah.
You do your own vocals or?
I actually, on my last release, it's just one word, like 2 words that I just said into the mic, but I want to start doing my own vocals.
Do you sing?
I actually want to take some vocal lessons, so we'll see if I can.
So no choir background or something like that?
No, I used to sing. You know what? I wanted to be a singer when I was little. I used to sing all the time, but when I was little, I think, I don't know, I just couldn't sing very well, but I wanted to. And I did used to love singing. I did singing in school for like my exams. So yeah, who knows?
So maybe a country track in the future?
Definitely not country. Maybe more like a reggaeton vibe because I love reggaeton.
Okay. Which is your like favorite party or parties to go to when you're not actually touring around?
Now here, PACO OSUNA'S party at High, that's definitely my favorite.
Do you go out a lot like when you're not touring, or do you mainly stay home?
To be honest, usually either I'm playing or one of my friends is playing, or you have to go somewhere to like network or, you know, support an event. So usually it's always like, it is rare that I go out just to go out, but I end up being out most weekends anyway because either me or someone else is playing. So it is quite rare that I would like just go just with absolutely zero, you know, anything to do kind of thing, just for fun. I guess when I travel around, like when I was in South America, I went out a lot, but like to different different, mainly like reggaeton and other places, like different music. Because it's nice to go out and not be in the scene, but still go out and have fun.
You told me that you wanted to go and have some vocal lessons, but you actually produce as well. If you don't have any actual like proper musical background, how do you produce, or is it like trial and error, or do you have any like musical theory in your head, or how do you produce, or you just download some loops and put them together?
I actually failed music theory in school for my exam. I used to play violin when I was like very young for 2 years. I was very, very, very lucky. My friends I have like a lot of good friends that are really good producers, so they taught me a lot on how to produce. One of my friends, Ben, he doesn't really produce anymore, but he's like incredible with sound in general, not just music. And he taught me like everything I need to know like about sound. And then I learn each time that I collaborate with someone, I learn from someone. But I do actually want to learn music theory. But I also find like naturally, like I can hear when something's in key or not. So I rely a lot on my ears.
So trial and error a lot.
A lot of it's trial and error, yeah. Over the years, it takes a while. I mean, like I do my own mix downs, and obviously that just takes a long time. Like
masters?
Masters, no, just mixing.
Okay.
I have a master in engineer. But I have learned to mix down my own tracks, and that's just going to be like constantly something I'm going to improve at. I feel like it just takes years for your ears to be able to hear like very intricate details and to train them. So, yeah.
What kind of an instrument, if you had to learn or got to learn another instrument in your life, like to put on your tracks? Usually you use MIDI keyboards for your actual production. You said you played violin when you were a kid.
Yeah.
But what would be that instrument that you'd actually learn to play to put on your track?
To put on my track, I don't know. I want to start learning to play piano, and just so I can. Yeah. I think it would be very helpful. But I'd love to play drums. I feel like drums would be a really cool, because that's my favorite part of producing is the drums and the percussion. So that's like, I love doing drums. So yeah, I feel like drums would be cool.
Cool. What's your wind down routine after a set? Snuggle in.
I'm not good at winding down.
So walk me through it. What happens after you come home from a set?
Well, it depends where I'm playing. If there's an after party. But if I'm traveling a lot, then I'll just go straight to sleep, because literally straight to bed. But yeah, it really depends like on the set, where it is, if I'm playing somewhere the next day, or if I need to travel. But yeah, I'm not great at winding down. I just hope that I play so late that I can just go straight to bed.
Cool. The electronic music scene is filled with mind-enhancing, let's say, mind-enhancing stuff. Let's say, I'm talking about drugs.
Yeah.
What do you think about, like, there's a huge movement nowadays amongst producers and DJs about like being clean and the club scene being clean.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? Like, should clubs be clean of drugs? Is it okay for DJs to do drugs? What do you think?
I mean, I think it's kind of a personal choice for everyone. I'm not pro or against it. I feel like whatever you want to do is, as long as you're not harming anyone and as long as you're being safe, that's the main thing. And everyone is very much free to do what they want to do. Like, I love doing mushrooms. It's one of my favorite things. But for me, it's like quite therapeutic. I used to microdose on mushrooms. I feel like it's really good for your mental health and also like your creativity. But yeah, in terms of the club scene, as long as, the only thing that I will say is that, and one of the reasons maybe that in England the crowd is not so good, is ketamine. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that kills the dance floors. So I would prefer it if people did not do ketamine on the dance floors. But yeah, other than that, I don't really have any issues whatsoever with people doing whatever they want to do.
tell me about the problem about nightlife before, like, but what's the best part of the nightlife, the whole scene, like the problems where like people aren't dancing anymore and they're watching their phones. If there's a bigger problem, you can always tell me.
Yeah.
But what's the best part about this?
I think the best part is like connecting with other people through like music, you know, and also like when I first went to like a rave, I was really young. I was 15. I went to an illegal rave, and I loved that like clubs are different. You know, commercial clubs are completely different, but specifically in underground raves, I love that it doesn't matter like what your style is, who you are, what you do. Like people just come together from all different areas of life, and generally there's normally like not a lot of like discrimination, or it's like kind of judgment free. The phones are a bit of a problem now because now people film other people, which is, I'm really against it. I think people should just be allowed to completely let loose and enjoy themselves without, you know, the fear of ending up on the internet. I feel like that is an issue. But yeah, like I think definitely the connection that you get to connect with so many different people, and you get to, you know, build some memories. And I guess when you're listening to like amazing music and you're having the best time, you just forget about all your problems. I think that for me, like music and going out, and for me it's actually therapeutic, and I find it's really good for my mental health. I mean, some people prefer to do other things, but for me, going out is like, I don't know, I feel like refreshed, I feel like energized after. My vibes are up the next day. And also as a producer as well, going out and listening to other music gives me inspiration for my own music. So
it's like somewhat like even like a religious feeling sometimes.
It's like spiritual, yeah.
Are you religious?
I'm spiritual.
Yeah, okay, I can see. Yeah, of course, the zodiacs.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could live as anybody in the world for 1 week, anybody else, who would it be?
Ooh. I have no idea. It's a very difficult question.
Yeah, sometimes the first one that pops into your mind is the right one.
I can't think. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it's easier if you think, who would you like to be as in range-wise? Would you like to be a politician for a week? Maybe a world leader?
No.
Another DJ?
No.
Maybe a scuba diver in Egypt?
I honestly don't know. I quite like being me.
I have one more weird question for you. If you had to choose,
Yeah.
A, your toes and fingers are...
Toes for fingers or fingers for toes?
Yeah. Or B, you have to exchange your eyes for your nose. Which one would you pick?
Toes for fingers?
Toes for fingers.
I think, actually, I don't know, because I wouldn't be able to DJ very well.
Yeah, and then you have 2 noses as well.
I don't know, maybe toes for fingers still, because I like to keep my face intact.
That's so great. If you have anything like coming up, now's the time to plug it.
So I have an EP that just came out on Why Not Us, which is LIAISON's label. It's a super big one for me because I've been waiting to get this released for a while, and a lot of people have been. It's like one of my most highly probably requested tracks, BBMB. So yeah, that's out now. And available to buy in Beatport. So if you guys want to grab it, it would be amazing. And yeah, I'm playing in Ibiza at the end of this month for Mindshake, which is PACO OSUNA'S label. It's a label showcase at Tantra, so I'm super excited for it. And then I'm going back on another tour to South America in October, so back to traveling on that side of the world.
You mentioned you have your track up on Beatport. Since DJs mainly make their income via live shows mainly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's actually good to sell produced tracks on like these platforms, or it would be better if they were free, other DJs would grab it, you get more traction and you get more lives? Because it's chump change that you get from actual beatport, I think.
Yeah, you don't really. Yeah, you don't. There's not much money in actually releasing music. But obviously, the better your track does, the more sales you get, the better labels you release on, kind of gets you better fees, I guess, as a DJ. So that's why I don't know if it being free would change anything, because it still needs to be like, it's still very much dependent on like how well it does in the charts. So yeah, and also I guess a lot of like tech house, like I personally don't, when I'm on Spotify, I don't listen to tech house. When I'm not making music or playing music, I'm listening to everything else but tech house. So like a lot of music that I make is not really something like you would listen to chilling at home, I would say. So I guess Beatport would be the only indicator, because Spotify, obviously you can get a lot of listens, but I feel like other genres are more streamable.
Why not SoundCloud?
SoundCloud, yeah, SoundCloud. I do sometimes release free downloads on SoundCloud now and then.
Okay.
I did one actually in March. I released a Bad Bunny edit.
Yeah, I've already heard it. Nice track.
Thank you.
But I would like to thank you for taking some time to sit down with us in this lovely place in Pärnu. And I wish you all the best with your tour, your new tracks, and that you achieve the goals that you want to.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Cool. Gorgeous.